Good afternoon and a warm welcome to round 2 of Rugby Europe's Women's Championship. Last week we saw the holders Spain dismantle the Netherlands. Today Spain looking to their 9th title against Russia. Yes, in Madrid it's the Campo de Rugby Las Terras. It's Spain against Russia. Beautiful setting in Madrid. Looks like fine weather, hardly any wind. Bright and dry for this one. And Spain really have been imperious at this level of women's European rugby. Spain have their destiny in their own hands, and that's all you can ask for as a player. If they win today, another title is theirs. Spain against Russia then. Kick off in about 9 minutes time for you. I'm Johnny Hammond, and alongside me today, England's most test cap player of all time, Rocky Clark. How are you, Rocky? Looking forward to this one?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Good to be with you, Johnny. Going to be a good day.
Just confirmation there at 9 degrees. Not too much of a wind. Looks like there might be a shower or two lurking around, but we'll hope that won't come to pass. Of course, we must just deal with the fact that Russia are playing a sporting game today, as we watch the two captains do the coin toss. Just wanted to read the statement by Rugby Europe. Laura Delgado juggling around.
You kick? Yes. Okay.
Russia have the choice.
Okay.
Russia will kick.
So you flip that. Okay. Perfect.
And Russia will be playing from right to left. Let's say just that statement by Rugby Europe. Considering the current situation to preserve the health and safety of all players and officials, Rugby Europe has decided to postpone the game between Georgia and Russia, scheduled to take place on February the 27th in Tbilisi, Georgia, and to cancel the Snow Rugby Championship scheduled to take place on February the 27th and 28th in Moscow, Russia. The game between Spain and Russia in the Women's Europe Championship scheduled for the 26th in Madrid is currently maintained. And that's where we are in the Women's Rugby Europe Championship for 2022. That confirmation of that 69-point win by Spain over the Netherlands, 11 tries in all. And there you can see in the table, 3-team round-robin competition, just one game against the opponents. And Spain would go 2 from 2 today and of course win the title. Here is the Russian side. It's a youthful, inexperienced side, it really is, without their professional sevens players. A new era, a new wave, Pavel Boronovsky has been saying this week. Daria Lushina is the captain and orchestrator at 10, and 18-year-old Victoria Simchenko is given the reins at number 1 in the pack, and she will have her work cut out, because Spain impressive last week, very, very physical, haven't made too many changes to their lineup. A couple of the changes in the front row. Delgado, formidable tie head prop that she is alongside her. Ikera Porto, the captain. Castello and Amedia promoted from the bench in the second row. New centre in the form of 17-year-old Claudia Pena, partnering Patricia Garcia in her last ever game for her country. We spoke last week about being the end of an era. Jose Barrio, the coach, of course, his last involvement with the Spanish rugby setup in terms of the 15s and the 7s, of course. He used to coach both. And Patricia Garcia, her last involvement with her country today. Huge amount of outpouring of emotion around Patricia Garcia. She's been such a servant to her country, whether it be 7s, 15s, World Cups, Olympics. She has been a brilliant, brilliant servant. Has she not, Rocky Clark?
Yes, she's been amazing indeed. She's a phenomenal player, just like so hard to play against because she's so skillful. And as you said, she does it on the 7s, the 15 circuits, Allianz Prem 15. She's an amazing player.
So a fitting way, potentially then, there will be some motivation for these Spanish players, I suspect, in and around giving Patricia Garcia the send-off that she deserved. Plenty of crowd in to see their Spanish hero. In accordance with Rugby Europe and International Olympic Committee guidelines and following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, there'll be no Russian flag today and no Russian anthem played. So just the home side's national anthem before we get underway. They're impressive last week, were they not, Rocky Clark? Spain up front and behind the pack as well. What I really loved was the interlinking of both forwards and backs.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Spain last week. Thought they did tremendously well. And as you said, the offloading game, the interlinking between the forwards and the backs. Particularly impressed with Porter, who comes in to start today. She made a huge impact at half time, so it'll be interesting to see how she gets on from the kickoff.
Yeah, injected a real zip, didn't she? All English officials from the RFU. Katie Ritchie in possession of the P. Spain played, there she is, the lady of the moment, Patricia Garcia, played in there. Change ship of yellow last week in the familiar red today. Russia in the blue. Playing from left until right. Spain. Another title beckons. 80 minutes of rugby to get this over the line. We wait for the final adjustments, the final thumbs up from the side. Referee Ritchie. Rebecca Reese are the assistant referees on the touchline, and Russia wait. No expectation. They can go out and play the rugby that they want to play. Spain against Russia, and we're underway, and it's an early mistake from Spain. Leah Duchar screaming up from fullback, clearly made it us in terms of communication. The handling weren't in line with the communication, clearly. Not the start that Spain would have wanted.
No, an opportunity for Russia here.
First got to get that scrum right on that loose head side. See the young 18-year-old.
Yeah. She's just
Chemok.
buckled out of that. She just stood up. She couldn't take the pressure, so she stood up. It's the only way to go. And yeah, penalty for Spain.
And there you are, ladies and gentlemen, finally in aerobic commentary, some clarity around the scrum. Lady who won 137 caps for her country in the front row. Here, you start in the back row at this point, did you?
No, but I think I got in the second row for about 10 minutes and panicked the whole time.
Yes, Laura Delgado realised that Spain needed that one off the kickoff. Nice line out take from Maria Calvo. Cisneros, player that she's the reigning champions of Spain, and look at this drive. Statement of intent. Just stops now. Diaz whips it away. Fernandez de Corres.
Oh.
Huge hit coming in. Artichuk from Russia. Spain still have it, but harrying and busy and physical Russia. Going to be the question how long this can last for them. Got to stay disciplined as well, because it's all very well putting pressure on Spain, but you've got to do it in a disciplined manner.
Exactly, because we saw last week how indiscipline cost, you know, 3 times in a row, and that's Spain over the line. So I've got to just make sure it's just they now regroup and become disciplined. Spain have got the kick.
A couple of penalties already to Spain. Gone touchdown. That worked, didn't it, last week? For Spain. Monica Castello, 34 years young now. Whippersnapper. And Lourdes Almeida promoted from the bench, and it's Castella racing away into that 22, and Porto is there as well. She's 20 years of age. Today her 3rd cap. Delgado has a little contretemps with one of the Russian back rowers. Russia have done well to stop that, because they looked like Spain were racing their way towards the line, but again ill-discipline. Because Diva is penalised and Spain are off quickly. Losada goes loose. Knock on from Spain. Touch the ball in front. It's offside. Penalty Russia, and a moment for them to breathe.
Yeah, it's been a really good fast start for Spain. They've just got caught by one of the technicalities of obviously picking the ball up when it's been a knock on in front of the player. Obvious penalty. Russia haven't made touch.
Spain reply with some real intent. Diaz, good pick up, I thought it was, from Fernandez de Corres. Pass just dying on her. Diaz just didn't stay in the shape of the pass. She just brought her body up and therefore made that pass slightly loopier, and it died at the feet of her half-back partner, Ana Fernandez de Corres.
Okay, so we're just having a look at the scrum now. So last time we saw Russia bail and stand up. Ref's just having a word with Spain to make sure that they have the correct angle. Good initial hit from Russia. They're just starting to stand up again. They've got to work on that body height.
Dark offering her coaching services. I think it's fairly safe to say that definitely got the bit between their teeth, haven't they, Spain here? Almost a little too frantic.
Yeah, they can sniff it. They're just panicking a little. Okay, Russia line out.
Vivier Poromoskovic. Physicality of the challenge. It's a great hit, wasn't it? Castello plays her rugby in France. Stade Rennais. Try last week. Fair, there weren't many that didn't. It's a nothing kick, isn't it? It's a bizarre one.
Very bizarre kick to go. I thought she was going to pass it and then sort of stepped back and hacked it into her. I don't know if it was her own player or a Spanish player. It just didn't look right.
Garcia. 43rd cap today. 2 Sevens World Cups. 15s World Cup. Currently playing for Exeter. We will speak about her as this afternoon and this game unfolds, I'm sure. But Spain again on the sniff here for the first try. Costello and Porto are there. They bashed into each other. It's a shame for Spain. Again, they're just a little too hurried in what they're doing.
Yeah, they've just got to earn the right to get over the line. It's just a little bit panicked at the moment. They just need to settle, go through the processes. Their maul is a massive weapon. I would like to see the Spanish team just try and stay really tight and not break away.
And with the last two line-out drives, the only two in the game so far, they've gone at least 10, 15 metres. That line-out was 12 metres from the line. There was no need to do anything silly there.
No, just keep it tight, and Hooker needs to stay on for the ride and score the try. So it's really important when you're at the front of a line-out, a driven maul, you need to stay square, keep pumping your legs and stay low. And the person on the ball needs to stay on the ball comfortable until it starts to wheel or something, or the referee said use it twice. Then you've got to do something with it.
Important scrum here for Russia. Running from behind their own try line. This is fairly unexpected, I think it's fair to say. There's Tia. Now Artachuk. Physical inside centre, isn't she? There's some big backline players out there. Gavrilyuk on that left wing is a sizable character. But possession is all with Spain. Yakucha, just 19 years of age. Fresneda. Famous foul here. They can't look after the ball though. And the reason it popped out was because Russia had hands in the ruck and Diaz was there just buzzing around. I think everybody, including Laura Delgado, will just say, let's put our foot on the ball, as it were.
Yeah, just a little bit too tempting for Russia. They need to just cut out the penalty count, and Spain need to be a little bit more clinical.
Because one-on-one, actually, physically, they're not being overawed at the moment by Spain. Physically, they are matching them. Just stay away from anything that could possibly present itself as a penalty. Stay away from it. They've gone to the tail here, Spain. Good attacking ball for them. That's not what they've done, though. It was Calvo who took the line-out ball. Diaz's man-handled in there. She knocked it on. Again, this will be frustrating, Spain. Clearly got the dominance in terms of the team aspect. Just not got the nuts and bolts screwed tightly enough.
Yeah, I think they're just settling into the game and trying to work stuff out. And obviously there's a lot on this game to win the tournament, so they're just panicking a little rather than just playing play by play, work their way up the field, let the forwards do their work and then let the backs run in the tries. Simple stuff. Yeah, I want to see a better hit here in the scrum. Both teams sort of crumpled in last time. Delgado just having a little word with the referee again. I don't think she's getting the space to go in. She's complaining about. Because you want enough space, you go ear to ear, so then you have that little race across the line to hit into them so you can try and get across the mark before your opponent. That was a good hit.
Which is the dark arts rather than the World Rugby analysis of the set of the scrum. I'm going to use Artichuk, aren't they? Clearly the number 12. Big powerful runner for them.
Yeah, she's very strong.
Sensing a huge amount of a kicking game here for Russia. Many of these new players, already mentioned that. Quite often they're professional sevens players come back into the 15s programme for games like this. Not on this occasion. Was advantage to Spain. It's all a little bit messy. First knock on for Russia. Spain will have the put in.
So yeah, Spain have got the upper hand in the scrums now, so Russia aren't going to be very happy with it being a scrum. It just, as you said, got a little bit scrappy, just forcing it a bit too much. Just need body to drop on it, to set up a ruck, and then to play away from it.
Very much got the edge over today's opposition, Spain. Last time they met, February last year. It's competition 56-7. But like the Netherlands last week, very competitive for the first 40 minutes. Just 19-0 to Spain last week at half-time. Another 50 points was added on the second half.
Yeah, so maybe that's something that Spain need to work on, getting settled earlier rather than it taking till half-time to do their damage. Lots of waving about that scrum. It's now Porter who's popped up out of the scrum.
Okay,
I think both teams are actually trying to lift each other up, so both are popping out, and then it's just up to the referee to make a decision.
Make sure you stay down, guys.
Just 20 years of age. Porter in the middle of the
Okay. I will work to keep
Spanish front row there. What age were you when you made your debut, Rocky?
I was 22. She's a baby. She's certainly, yeah, she's certainly very good already. So you know, you think she's going to have a long career, and how good she is already. This is great for the future of Spanish rugby.
Yeah, really spread the
advantage penalty.
funnel into this national team now around the country. Used to just be here in Madrid. Now academies and camps all over the place. Garcia, crowd are roaring. Piquero on that far side. Castello, lovely flip out of the back to Diaz. It's the yes, Delgado. Always takes the defender with her. Fernandez de Corres. Ducha. First try for Spain. And after 15 minutes or so, Spain do find a way through. They've been huffing and puffing, and eventually they blow Russia's house down.
What a carry from the forwards there. You had Delgado taking people with her. Estes as well. Just managed to get the ball out wide. So punch it up in the forwards, little offloads. Russia narrowed round as defenders, and then ball out wide to Ducha. She only knows one way, straight over try line.
Impressive last week, wasn't she? 13 points, including a try. Another try here as well. Of course, scored that winning try against Ireland in those World Cup qualifiers back in September, when they beat Ireland. This lady, over 60 points in the English Premier 15s League for the Exeter Chiefs. 11 points last weekend with a try. She's already got 2 today. A massive roar every time she gets the ball. Clearly the Spanish fans have taken the opportunity. It's something that the Spanish Union said this week. Come out and show your appreciation for this lady. She has given so much. And of course, runs PGR, NGO charity.
Absolute legend of the game.
As she said this week, how difficult to announce this, but, and indeed so passionate. Had the fortune to have her on a little podcast that I run, the Women's Rugby Pod, and she is so passionate about Spanish rugby. And look at the talent the lady has as well. That flat pass, it was Burford-esque.
It was indeed. I just
kind of
thought
players. Yeah.
Okay. Spain.
Great
Phenomenal
minds,
skills.
Rocky.
Yeah, on display. Yeah, Rachel Burford, beautiful miss passing for the last century, and we now got Garcia smashing them out of the park for fun.
You know, I'll tell her that.
She always gives me jip about my age, so I can get her now.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's a really good nick in there. Polikadova. Advantage to Russia, and Spain have just gone up a gear here.
Relentless defence and line speed, physicality by Spain.
Advantage.
Looking over with the latest carry for Russia.
No advantage. We have a knock on from
Zinchenko.
Spain. Russia scrum back here.
She'd be
Back
disappointed
forward
with
in
that
scrum.
ball presentation, and she just lost it. It was initially a good carry, but she just didn't keep hold of it when she went to present it.
Russia.
So back to the scrum, which isn't necessarily a win for them.
It's difficult at the moment, isn't it? Don't know too much about Lushina
Number 1.
or Chirkova,
Thank you.
the Russian halfbacks.
Yeah,
But
Chikova's
clearly not
just
too
had-
much of a kicking game between them. Otherwise, I think they would have tried to use boot on ball to try and just get out of their own half. Instead, they are using really hard running lines, using Gavrilyuk and Artachuk. Spain up to the task at the moment, and Monica Castello has made a fine start to this game. The Spanish second row forward in the red scrum cap, all nicely matching and neat and tidy.
Yeah, she's playing like a 7. Brilliant work rate, physicality, slowing the ball down. Here she is again.
Clearly come here to score tries, Russia. Lushina does put boot to ball eventually, but just ends up in the hands of Bruno Elias. Had a debut last week against the Netherlands. Yaducha just asking Fernandez de Corres to come on the off switch, which he does. Diaz. Losada. Cap number 13 for the Senegal player. Pozo. Delgado, the front rowers, interlinking, combining.
Background.
Diaz has gone quickly. And that is de Corres. Figueroa can't take it. Knocked on again, just too hurried in the end.
Yeah, you can see the intention of Spain. They're trying to go quick, trying to get Russia on the back foot and moving the ball, quick offloading, as we've talked about before, interlinking their forwards. And what I'm loving as a front row player, how many touches the front rows are getting as well for Spain, and that's the sign of a good attacking team, that you get your high collision carriers, sucking in players, give it just speedier back row, back 5, who can then get the little offloads in for those half breaks. Like, really good strategy here.
They're handling the ball far too far away from the try line, aren't they? Rocky the goal hanger Clark.
Hey, I love a little 6-inch plop over.
Yeah.
Can you give the space?
400 tries with a total meterage of 1.3.
Exactly. They'll count, don't they?
Why waste
25
the
in my
energy?
career, it's not bad.
No, very good.
Took me 137 caps to do it, but
Remember
Every so
many of them
often.
fondly. Back to the meat and drink though. Certainly you continue to have a very strong reputation of a scrum. Lucina has clearly been told now she is allowed to kick, or why not try to use the boot. Huge counter drive from Gavriluk. But it's Elias Maradona, club player.
Off feet.
But it's Clara Piquero who's off her feet. There's plenty going on the breakdown at the moment for referee Ritchie to keep her eyes on.
Absolutely, yes. There's a lot of physicality coming in, and obviously both teams really want it. So there's a lot of counter-rucking or jackling going on. So the pressure is on the team in possession to get that blaster over quickly, to get through that ruck, clear the space so then 9 can play away. They're finding it very difficult in the Russian team because so much of Spain is coming through to try and slow down the ball.
What do you mean by blaster then, Rocky?
Take the line, please.
So
The breakdown
when,
is a highly contested air at the moment.
yeah, absolutely. So when somebody carries the ball, if there's a threat over the ball, so somebody's trying to steal the ball, a jackler, so then you need to come and drive them back so that they get their hands off. If you just stop and go over the top in a bridge position, they're able to really counter up, or they might still be able to have the hands on. So it's clearing that threat off the breakdown.
You're not talking about Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica in my day.
No, not today.
You're too young to remember Battlestar Galactica, aren't you?
Yeah, which is nice, because normally I remember most things from many, many moons ago.
They want this title, don't they, Spain? Because Ned had a bit between her teeth in that carry. Really was. And here from Losada. Diaz going in there. Try and dig that ball out. It's been down though. Referee said illegally. Little chip over the top. Not a bad tactic, because that blitz line is coming up very, very quickly from Russia.
Yeah, very good tactic, because she also knew she had the penalty advantage. So if Spain didn't get it, then it'd come back for the penalty. So it was a free shot to have a go. Garcia going to kick to touch.
Just going to say, just a motivation today, just for these players, for a player like her, I suppose, to Amy Garnett, these kind of players in your time with England must have been a huge motivation for these Spanish players to do it for one of their greatest.
Yeah, one of their greatest players for sure. That, you know, I remember when Georgina Gulliver retired from Saracens, and just how much the team play for that person in their final game, and they won the Premiership then when it was up against them. And look, Amy Garnett's last game, everybody just pulls in tight and wants them to have a wonderful send-off, and there's going to be so many emotions with this game and Garcia's sending off.
And carrying well is back five for Spain, aren't they?
So impressed, yeah. Fresnada, Castella, Calvo, Losada, all just carrying so well, so hard, getting front foot ball every time, little bit of footwork, but then just running at the branches as opposed to the tree, and they're always making over the gain line.
Yes, go for it.
I'm glad you used that coaching term as well. I've used that a few times, and players look at me like, what on earth are you talking about? We're talking about weak shoulders, aren't we? We're talking about not going for the body, but going for weaker arms. Clearly that's a better thing to do. It's an early substitution for Russia.
Thank you. Time on.
Krasnoporov comes on. Silyanova goes off. Fullback for, let's see, a back row player. It's an interesting choice. We'll see what Krasnoporova has in her locker. Molokhodova is smashed back in the tackle, and again Russia just trying to work their way out of their own half with ball in hand. There's Tiak. And there is the pink-capped Molokhodova again. Elias back inside to Ducha. There's excitement when the fullback has the ball. Young player, just 19 years of age. In fine form for Spain, whether it be 7s or 15s. Floating off the ground now, Spain. Losada, just one offload too many. Didn't need to do it. They got behind Russia.
This is where maybe a little bit of the inexperience with the youngsters come in, or understanding of the game, when to offload and when to just carry and set up a ruck. They're just forcing it a little, and you know, as we've already spoken about, the first 20 minutes of the game, there's a few errors that have crept in by forcing it rather than just playing the phases and then waiting for the space to open up. So that extra offload didn't need to happen, caused the knock on.
Saw a shot of Pavel Baranovsky.
No, stand up, okay?
He was the coach when Russia played Spain at 7s.
You hold the weight, you.
And they missed out on a place at the Rio Olympics. So a little bit of beef, a bit of history.
You quick, okay? Same please.
Difficult with the language barrier, isn't it?
Yeah, referee's just trying to speed up Chiakova to get the ball in.
Crouch. Bind.
I would have thought it would do her side any advantage to delay. There's no hook there. That should be a free kick to Spain. Lovely run on the wide outside. For Gabriel. Huge hit coming in.
What a hit. Didn't see that come in. Neither did she.
No.
Wow.
So, okay, so knock on, okay.
See this again. They just scored on the outside, and then Ducha. Big old hit for the 19-year-old.
Yes. Amazing speed across. I would have liked to have seen her head go the correct side, so it wasn't in front of the player, just for safety. So any new players out there, just make sure you get your head on the outside rather than in front of them. But what a hit. Just force the knock on in Spain's scrum.
Cheek on cheek.
Cheeky.
We are available for children's parties. Losada just keeping it in the base of the scrum. They've got the penalty coming. Diaz wants to play it though. Fernandez de Corres. Look at the footwork. Wow. Ah, Dulce. She needs to stick to tackling. No, she's great with ball in hand, isn't she? Just proves that she is human after all.
Okay.
That footwork earlier, just to get round that player. I'd have been sat on the floor with that. So it's just slight into out, quick feet, boom, straight round her, and got the ball out. If it had gone to hand, I could see that being certainly a 40-metre line break, maybe even a try. They've come back for the penalty from the scrum. 20-metre line out to Spain.
They call them ankle breakers, don't they? Steps like that. You can see why.
Yeah.
Garcia's found a good touch from the penalty. Yeah, she's just knocking around, isn't she? Just exuding confidence and experience. Switch places with Fernandez de Corres that time. Fernandez de Corres is trying to stay on her feet. Thought she had a knee down. I think she did. But it's Akhmedov who comes away with it for Russia. Still back in their 22. So much work, Rocky, for very little gain. Certainly nothing on the scoreboard.
However, they're stopping Spain scoring, and so although they're doing a lot of work in their own 22, they are generally keeping ball, and I think Russia are starting to grow into the game. I'd just like them to play in Spain's half rather than in their own 22-metre line.
Good example of a blaster there at that ruck. Good counter ruck from Russia. Spain did well to keep hold of the ball. They've knocked it on here. Chikova. Just, doesn't matter what language you speak, just letting the referee know that Spain had knocked the ball on there. It would be their scrum.
Great counter ruck. Force that little knock on.
It's great work, isn't it, from Oroshkina, 27-year-old Vivier Podomoskovy player. Two of the players coming from two main clubs really in Russia. Vivier Podomoskovy in SI-STM. Who settled at scrum time as well, and Ushina came late around the corner, and then it's down that back line. It was just player on player. Atusha, another mistake from her. She's well offside. Chikova takes it quickly, trying to get that ball on the ground now. Akhmedov. It's Shemok taking it on for Russia. It's been turned over by Spain though. Advantage over from the knock-on. Spain clear their lines again, and just when you felt Russia were just beginning to pick up a little head of steam.
Yeah, just had Chenock lose the ball in contact again. Just need work on the ball presentation. I think they get a lot more change from that. We saw Chirkova go with a quick tap, got them over the 22. Looked like they were going to do something with it, but that knock on just allows Spain to come back into the game.
Molokadova, she's done everything today in the pink scrum hat for Russia. She's playing scrum half there. Here is the recognised and regular scrum half. Chikova. Second row again, fumbling the pass, but gets a tall frame down on the ball.
Come down and play a goal. Scrum. Okay? Red going forward.
Who's unplayable, says the referee.
Red scrum. My bad.
Just highly contested with a breakdown, isn't it? So physical out there.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm really excited by the double tackles going on, the physicality. Like, big ball carriers are getting driven back that normally make sort of 2 to 10 metres every time they're carried. They're now sometimes getting pushed back a couple of metres because the double tackles coming in from Spain, coming in from Russia are just meeting head on and getting that double person's body weight through. The way to counteract that is to get a latch on from one of your teammates to drive you through that contact area, and of course carry low into contact. As soon as your chest is high, that enables that second person to go underneath you and then push you up and back, which means you lose your momentum going forward.
Commentary and coaching all roll into one, ladies and gentlemen. You're very welcome. Penalty coming to Spain again at scrum. Fernandez de Corres pulls one out the back. It's Paquero who's coming through. It's a brilliant tackle. Really is from Penestiak.
That was awesome. It's like one-handed, just to sort of grab around her calf, but she flew up. Spain have clearly got the tactics to go for the penalties in the scrum. It's very obvious what Russia are doing in the scrums. Unfortunately, Akhmedova is scrummaging on one foot, and she looks like an aeroplane landing, which makes it really hard to get in a good position to have a stable base if you're on one leg and your body weight is going down. So Spain just taking full advantage of that.
He's a bit confused there, of course, but Garcia. Apologies if we're not quite getting the Spanish pronunciation or indeed Russian pronunciation of these names spot on. Not the mother tongue, of course, but Patita speaks very good English. She will that will help with the all English officials today. Don't underestimate that, being able to communicate clearly and cleanly with the referees and assistant referees. Diaz comes around this side. Garcia still going. So hard to stop. Tiak very unlucky, I think, there. Very quickly over Garcia. Penalty coming to Spain again. Got to be looking at getting a hand in a pocket here, because there's so many penalties, but Spain at the moment that close to the line. That was Calvo. Delgado. A couple of forwards around her as well. She can't get to that line. Is it going to go wide and out? Fernandez de Corres. Garcia! In a final appearance for Spain. One of, if not the greatest Spanish women's rugby player of all time. Perhaps her final appearance with a try. And isn't she happy, as are her teammates, and why not?
Excellent handling here. So the forwards had a go with the pick and goes. They were doing this sort of seesaw attack. They weren't getting over the try line, so ball was called out wide. Fernandez saw her teammate Garcia, and there was only one way that was going. Great low body position, and then just drove to the floor and was over. Chance to add to her point tally.
She was fairly determined that time, wasn't it? There was a little bit of a crowbar moment. You don't mind if the player goes over, and indeed she did. Her determination and technical ability and awareness of where to put her body. Can she convert her own try right here on the stroke of half-time in Madrid? Second round of the Rugby Europe Women's Championship of 2022. Spain win this game. They lift yet another title. As to edge them. Out to a 14-point lead. She can't quite make it.
Neil.
Only 5 more points for Patricia Garcia and for Spain. And that is half-time in Madrid. It's been a hugely physical affair. Spain clearly got the upper hand, but the tenacity of Russia has been there for all to see. Half-time score in Madrid, it's Spain 12, Russia 0.
Aquella del pantalón rojo corriendo. Porque el nivel me quiso el sol como que vas corriendo y paras y te vas abriendo para los lados. Mira, no digo esto de pequeño.
second round of the Rugby Europe Women's Championship. Spain, the leading force at this level, the second tier really of women's rugby in Europe. Just tucked in behind the Six Nations, which of course will start up in a few weeks' time. And of course, a competition that Spain used to be involved with before the women's tournament went in line with the men's tournament, and Italy replaced Spain, looking for their 9th title here if they win this game. Catherine Ritchie, or Katie Ritchie, is the referee, alongside that lady who conversion and a try in that first half. Patricia Garcia announced her retirement this week. This will be her last 40 minutes. Be a brave coach, wouldn't it, to take her off?
Would indeed.
So here she is, the Spanish start to get the second 40 minutes underway. Spain with a 12-point lead at all of the territory in that first 40 minutes. They really did. Plenty of possession as well. It was only on the stroke of half time, wasn't it? They scored their second try. I'm Johnny Hammond, alongside me in the sidecar, Rocky Clark, England's most capped player of all time. Interesting that Russia didn't go into the change rooms at half time, Rocky. They stayed out in a huddle on the left-hand side of the pitch, talking to their coach, Pavel Polanovsky. Calvo Delgado, the Spanish captain today, taking that responsibility from Fernandez de Corres, who remains in the 10 shirt for Spain today. Here's Diaz. There is the fly half. Nice flat ball to a lady who had an exceptional first 40 minutes. Castello, she's just a little too flat that time.
Yeah, you can see the intention there, just trying to play really quick, flat to the line, to get through, get those weak shoulders. We've seen a couple of offloads and out the back earlier, out the back pass to Delgado, who took it up as well. Costello has been on fine form, getting around that park really well, as have all the packs, to be fair. Everyone's had a lot of touches on the ball.
Just trying to create plenty of options, aren't they, off Fernandez de Corres. Martha Estes was offering herself up, and then an even wider ball out to, it was Garcia who was out there. Chiturian to get her hands in the scrum. Krasnoporova did well in the end. She's trying to hold on to the ball. Russia again finding some green grass, but it's still in their half. Picaro. Live wire last week, wasn't she? Brilliant for Spain on the two Spanish legs of the HSBC World Rugby 7 Series.
Yeah, she had a lot of ball in her. Haven't noticed her as much today.
Those legs in Malaga and in Sevilla. I don't work for the tourist board or for the town council in Sevilla, but if you get a chance, my word, what a beautiful city. The National Football Stadium is where the Sevens was held, and she was in fine form, was the left winger here today for Spain. Clara Picaro was asked to play for the French Barbarians against the national side last November. Of course, plays her rugby in Bayonne. Bit of a mess there, really. Hadn't registered properly for the Elite One. So some issues there, but she's playing well for Spain in the last few weeks.
Just saw a fumbled line out there and a contact in the air, the referee's deemed. But when that ball came down, charged Nova, oh my goodness, she hit like a cannonball. It was brilliant.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
It's certainly not for the faint-hearted, is it?
No, they're certainly going to
Russia's
feel
lied
that
out.
they played a test match tomorrow morning.
Marilla Molokhodova calling the line out for Russia, and she's right at the front of that drive as well. Very noticeable in the pink scrum cap, and they've broken off the side here. Akhmadova. Advantage coming. Potho.
Why would Akhmadova break off of that maul that was going forward?
Again, she's around the side here, trying to use that frame, that size. They're there, Russia. Who's there to meet them, though? Costello and Potho. Wider now for Russia. Spain being told to stay on side. Piquera involved in the tackle. Molokhodova is there for Russia. Simple, brutal, physical rugby from Russia here. Calvo seems like she's got her hands on the ball, but it's out now for Russia. Wider, what can the backs do here to miss passes? One of those bounce passes. Knocked on out wide by Pogrebniak. Good defence in the end from Spain. They weren't sucked into those forward efforts, and in the end they get the scrum down.
Russia are going to be hugely disappointed with that. So close. Little draw and fix from Krasnoprova, and just the winger took her eyes off the ball and it just dropped. Yeah, huge disappointment there for Russia, because that could have been a score early doors to put pressure on Spain.
It would put pressure on Spain, wouldn't it? Spoken about the motivation of the title, and another title for them. Talking about all about their coach, Jose Mario. I think they're Garcia's last game as well. I don't know what else is going on around Europe. Plenty of pressure here for Spain. Going to come down to fitness as well in the last quarter, I suggest as well. Spain seemed to have plenty of that last week. Charging over is on the field wearing 23 for Russia. Dusha. Put a stick out. Good tackle from her. She's been impressive, the outside centre for Russia. Estigas. Garcia. Patricia Garcia. Just couldn't find Kuznetsov on the outside, but it's another wonderful break. Characteristic, trademark break from the little buzzball Spanish player.
It's going to be such a loss for Spain, isn't it, having her retire? She's so good.
She does it all as well, Rookie. And she strikes the ball from hand so brilliantly. She kicks so well from the tee. We've seen heartbreak, you know, the likes of Harlequins and all the rest of it so far this season in the English League, the Premier 15s. Good with ball in hand. Diaz's afternoon is off. Thea Diaz. Julio Castro comes on. From the University of Sevilla. Only her second cap today, the replacement scrum half. There she is, wearing 21. Wasn't a bad debut, scored a try. Certainly take that. Potho is in there for Spain, holding that ball up, and if Russia take that ball in and can't get it to ground, it'll be a scrum down to Spain, and they can't get that ball down, and therefore that end result is a Spanish scrum. It looks like one of the players has been hurt there. Maybe Calvo or Losada.
It was underneath that train that was coming through.
It wasn't a light train either. It wasn't a sort of 6-carriage passenger train, was it? It was a huge, one of those huge freight trains you see going across the United States. It's just hugely physical out there, isn't it, between the 16 forwards?
I'm loving it. This is like top class for me. Love the physicality. Like we've already said, there's going to be some bruised and battered bodies tomorrow, but like these ladies are throwing everything at it. It means so much to both of them, and you know what a tightly fought contest so far.
These are sports women, of course, far away from politics and all the rest of it. Their personal pride in playing for their country. Decisions be made for going to be allowed to be played. No local restrictions, of course. The Russians are here, determined not to be second best. Garcia. Alas. It's that final pass, isn't it? We saw it with Garcia on the left-hand side. I was trying to switch with her. There's that final pass again, but this such a poor kicking game from Russia. Dusa comes back, ripped away by Chajnova.
It's a good turnover, but we have a knock-on.
Yeah, there's so many loose kicks, isn't there, Johnny, that is just going straight down the throat of the Spanish back three, and they're able just to counteract, get on that front foot and take them to edge.
Time off, stop.
Does make it difficult,
3,
doesn't it, when
7, sub.
history's against you.
1, 3,
Your recent games, Spain have had some winners. They're on home soil, they're going for another title. They've played Colombia, Spanish 15 against Colombia, who of course unable to defeat Scotland to book a place in the World Cup. Huge congratulations to Dr. Rachel Malcolm and Brian Easton and the rest of the squad. Scotland getting their place in the World Cup.
You keep your hips in, you drive straight.
Yeah, huge game for them yesterday.
Just sliding into a pool with New Zealand, Australia and Wales. Pool A.
Lovely.
Oh, good side. Really growing Scotland at the moment. But they're coming into this really, really fresh Russia and sticking with Spain at the moment. 50 minutes gone, half an hour left on the clock. It's only 12-0.
Yeah, could
Okay,
have easily been
Spain have had
12-7.
Plenty of the possession and territory that Spain have had. Been gritty and determined from Russia. This new era of players. Now they're 7 stars. Some replacements on there. Novacheva has come on for Russia. She's wearing 18. Another teenager. Alameda for Spain. You can't hold on to the ball when you've been tackled. Really good turnover work, isn't it, for the Russian skipper, Machina.
Yeah, it was indeed. That's exactly when you need that nous to go on, to get on ball, turn it over when you're under pressure and you're 22. Key for her. Stayed on that ball well, and she survived the clear out, so it's an easy penalty for the referee.
Of course, Russia kicking 2 touch from the penalty will have thrown to the line out. Plenty of fans have made it down to see, as they would hope, Spain be crowned Rugby Europe Championship winners again.
We will give time to set, okay? Okay?
Garcia 87-0 against the Netherlands, 57-7 against Russia to lift the title. Already done part one, already done 69-0 against the Netherlands, 12-0 here against Russia, but that's loose from the line-out. Not a great pass, is it, from Castro? And to get the Maragoods out, just to tidy the situation up. Ali Meda, really nice footwork. The footwork just before contact. Gave her another 6 metres. Castro trying to work it down that short side again. It's neat from Piquero. It's brilliant from Piquero. Clipped it off her boots. And then Garcia's there. And how dare they tackle Patricia Garcia into touch. Really.
Number 14.
Yeah, she wouldn't have wanted to end up in there. Just going to take you back, Johnny. Did you notice who was lifted in the Russian line-out from that play?
Go on.
Okay.
The number 9, Chiakova.
Was she?
Yeah, so she went in and jumped. Unfortunately, they lost it. So maybe better to use a normal jump in the line-out. But yeah, interesting to see the tactics here, just mixing it up.
Well, Cordova's been playing well in the line-out so far in this game. She's been running things nicely. It's not sevens.
I know. But perhaps they thought they wouldn't mark them, because normally you don't put your scrum half up in the line-out. But Chiakova's getting everywhere. I've seen her put her hands in a few rucks to try and slow him down as well. She's a brave woman.
Danilova. Danilova is on the field. She's wearing 21. The wing, I think. Switches every look over to that right wing. Spain with a penalty here. And it's the teenager, Peña, who takes it forward. From Barca Rugby, led them to the Catalan title, aged just 16 years of age. Scoring all of their points in the final. Wasn't able to go any further due to her age. This looks like a nasty injury. It's Piquero, is it? Clara Piquero down.
She doesn't look good, does she? Something to do with her left ankle, I believe.
Just go for it.
Leading into that injury, we had Peña with excellent footwork. Little step to the side, managed to make another 10 metres. Oh, I just saw her ankle then. That looked painful.
Not sure we need to see any of those replays. Certainly not present for any family and friends watching on. At the mercy of the host broadcaster in Spain, and yeah, that's she's been in fine form. We've been saying throughout this game, and she's playing well in the sevens jersey. Over in Amsterdam last weekend as well.
She's got a huge future. She's one of the youngsters that's come in and just so much speed and backing herself and creating something out of nothing. It's such a shame to see her go down injured. Wishing her a speedy recovery.
Seem to be together. The Russian squad arrived in Spain earlier in the week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Seems to be a togetherness. As I say, it was an interesting tactic to see them stay on the field at half-time, just down to the left of the camera positions. Porto is off. Estellas is off. Castello off as well. looked to be rather shaken by the injury. Portho.
It's a difficult time when one of your teammates, one of your friends is down injured, and you know it's going to be a tough injury for them, and it does affect you, especially obviously the waiting around and seeing medics go and treat them. It's very hard to keep your head in the game. If I was the coach now, I'd be recommending that they're doing some sort of handling to keep them warm and focused.
Sidora Brasic. She is wearing 16. Olímpico de Portuelo, club that she plays for. Got a first cap in last year's championship. Doubled that tally last week in Amsterdam. And Anna Puig is on the field as well. Added an extra A there, I do apologise. Too many Russian names today. Anna Puig, absolutely outstanding last week. A couple of tries to her name. Very proudly represents Samboyana. Here's the Adusha's try from the first half, converted by Patricia Garcia. The only point of this game so far, and then it was that lady who took the conversion, who scored Spain's second try, much to the delight of this Madrid crowd. We do wish Clara Piquero all the very, very best. Sad way for her championship to end.
Time on. Here we go.
So Puig goes into the second row alongside Alameda. Monica Castello has gone off.
Set. Stopped. Hold.
Just caught the hand of Castro at scrum half-time. She's everywhere, isn't she? Chirkova, Russian scrum half. She's into absolutely everything.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with her. She's like a flanker playing 9 as well. She's got that experience just to get that little tap on, just to force a poor pass out to the fly half, and then that extra pass just went forward.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Here she is again, feeding the scrum. Quite literally. This is floating across, not quite sure. Trying to achieve here, Russia. Huge pass back to Gavrilyuk, who sends it downfield into the Spanish half. Pina. Something about her, isn't there? Ball in hand, this youngster, Puig. Buonesso in Chelsea. It's gone for Piquero. Not done from Spain again. Just again is just beginning to build things nicely. But if you're being gifted the ball all day long, at some point the dam is going to break, isn't it? And that's where they find themselves. Russia, they're being dominated at set piece, certainly at scrum time, and they just keep kicking loosely to Spain.
Yes, Spain will be loving these loose kicks because because it's going down the centre of the field. There's 2 options that they can play from. They've got a lot of bodies on feet as well, so the options are endless. Russia are starting to win their own ball now, although it's under a little bit of pressure.
It's gone forward. Down over. Looks like she had some space in front of her, but it's forward, says referee Ritchie.
Yeah, another wasted opportunity. They've done well to keep the score down to 12-0, but they need to score themselves to be in it to win it.
If you can't make your way up the field, which is the trouble that Spain look to be having. Very difficult. Look like they're going to go from long range here. Carmen Rodella has come on the side of that scrum. Huge scrum from Russia. And they get a penalty as well. Look at the determination.
Thank you.
What a scrum, something I love to see. The Russian replacements have made a huge impact on that and just managed to get Spain to stand up, and they've been rewarded with a penalty.
Unable to reach the showpiece of it in New Zealand. Both these sides. Spain had a really good go of it, didn't they, in September? Beating Ireland, then lost to Scotland and Italy. Well, they ran out of steam and got a week 3, game 3. Have been to World Cups, both of them. Spain 4, Russia 2. Castro. Fernandez de Corres, rather with the ball with a siren that time. Garcia. Pena. Nice quick hands here. Puig. Goes in really high to the contact, doesn't she, with those hands out. Waiting to give the offload, but it's not worked out this time. Russia have turned this ball over. Chirkova is there again. There she is. Industrious afternoon from her.
Instruction.
Nopva. Garcia takes it quickly. Fizzing around, buzzing around, as is her way. Fernandez de Corres. Too much tidy up work as far as she's concerned. Just trying to do too much here, Spain. I just feel they just need to keep it simple.
Yeah, it's like they're playing hot potato, isn't it? It's just like, no, you have it, you have it, you have it. It's just a little bit too panicked, which is obviously really good speed. However, at that speed, it may cause some errors, which it has done.
Pena, after this one, knocked on by Krasnoporova. Perez. Forward pass will go back for the knock-on.
Another great line by Pooch that we've seen all last week. A knock-on because she'd run it so hard.
Okay.
Still really high tempo at 60 minutes, Johnny, isn't it?
Is it the last one?
It certainly is, and the water being taken on now. Hannah Pooch, she is wearing 19. Got a shot of Pavel Baranovsky, a Russian coach. He's very proud of his charges today. Sent out overall by this trip to the champions. That was the knock-on. A little chip through, wasn't it? Meant for Pena. 17 years of age, playing a test match for the first time. Been in and around the sevens training squads, but what an afternoon for her. Last quarter of the game then, 12-0. Spain lead. Beat the Netherlands 69-0 last week in Amsterdam. It's their only home game of this championship. Garcia, that was just too pedestrian from the Spanish midfield. Chirkova. Just kicks just straight downfield. See Pena, she's just trying things, can't you? She gets on the same page as other people. She will be a handful. Garcia, it's lovely handling down that back line. Forwards and backs. And Media was in there as well, gave a 15-metre pass. That was brilliant. Fernandez de Corres, here she is again. Now just trucking it up, not using those hands, using her physicality. Brasic. Castro whips it away to scrum half. I don't have the statistics at the moment, but that's got to be at least 15 plus penalties against Russia. I was just about to say that there has to be a yellow card. Should have potentially been a yellow card earlier in the first half, because there's so many offences. I don't think it's a team offence, a build-up of penalties. It's
okay. Penalties are hands. Yeah. Okay.
Yellow card for Anastasia Shirkova. Deliberate knockdown, trying to intercept the ball. Yeah.
She's certainly given it her all, and she just tried a little bit too hard there. And this is probably 20-30 minutes too late for the yellow card that should have come. But in the build-up to this, it was lovely handling. What I loved between the two centres for Spain, you had Pena with just that youthfulness, like footwork, creating something out of nothing, stepping, getting over the gain line, and then you've got Garcia using her experience, putting away a beautiful Burford-esque pass into her wingers, and just that combination is just so nice to see and works so well.
Garcia, potentially her final points in that famous red shirt, makes her tally 10 for the day. Patricia Garcia. And a compliment to Russia, really. First off, they're getting penalties in this kind of range. They're going to touch for Spain. Wanted to push out to 3 scores, of course. Big compliment to the way Russia are playing. 15-0, down to 14 though. Russia, Anna Puig just giving her the big up. I'll take the restart. But as you can see, her body position, wasn't it? Any youngsters watching, she's taken that ball facing her own try line. Therefore, if she did drop it, the ball is going to go backwards, and that's exactly what happened. But it's Kia. Artichuk playing scrum half. She'll have to now, with Shirkova in the bench, on the naughty step, I should say. Looking over. Brasic is right in the way there. Made a meal of getting her out of the way. And why not? Because they won the penalty here, Russia. Peñas tidied that one up, but they'll come back for the penalty. Brasic just couldn't get her to save herself out of that situation.
We'll hold, yes. Mia, what number was that? Do you have a number? Number 11 blue. Okay, hold. 11 blue, yeah? Okay, hold that. Number 11, please. 11? Yeah?
Hopefully let's have a word with the left winger here. Gavruk.
No. Okay. There was a push from the ball. Okay. You have a penalty advantage. Okay. If not, I penalise her. Okay? She cannot.
Lobacheva.
Okay, we'll wait.
And Lobacheva, just 19 years of age, just limping off. It's sad to see some of these young players fully understanding now, aren't they, exactly how physical international rugby is.
Yeah, it's such a massive step up, even from the highest club level, with the physicality coming in, and You know, that's a real shame for Lovacheva because she's made a real impact at the scrum and getting around the park as well. But again, a very long career ahead of her, I'm sure.
Victoria. Chenok, she was coming on. She's off the field. Another 18 years of age, the teenager. Quite sure we've got the delay here. Doesn't help the crowd, does it? The officials. Not sure what we're waiting for. It's a confusion with the replacements. Slovacheva was.
Is she on? Is she off? She's.
It was a replacement from row, wasn't she? And
in the scrum, in the front three.
Simchemok is trying to come on here, I think. For some reason.
Very bizarre. You've just had a prop go off injured. You need to bring one back on. You don't make a replacement of the other prop, surely.
Yes, near it's the front row.
Some fairly lackluster officiating on this near side and the assistant referee. Prop has just gone off. You don't have to replace a prop until a scrum, of course.
There we go.
Because it needs to be contestable, but
Number 5, not rolling.
2 or 3 minutes there of confusion where there just doesn't need to be any, and it stops the flow of the game not only for the players but the spectators and broadcasters as well. But we're back in the action now. Russian line out. Yeah, it's Rebecca Rees. No problem with her raising her flag. Oh, they've got it and won the line out. Brilliant work. Moderna. Macalona. That's where she plays her rugby and leapt very, very high there to get in front of Molokadova.
Yeah, it was a very good
their
intercept.
lines, Spain.
Yeah, the ball was supposed to be going to Molokadova, and Russia just got up in front, snatched it out of her hands, and then simple play, kick out from 22.
Second line out in a row. Fresneda, famous sporting family that she is on. Flagger winning a 10th cap today. Garcia, that right boot, there's plenty of space down there. She says to Pena, go chase it. Haven't got much of a kicking game. And it proves, doesn't it? Delgado. Fresneda bobbling around. Jules. Spain trying to wrestle that ball back because, again, it was just too frenetic for Spain. Bounce off the shoulder. Fernandez Sakura says thank you very much. Stroke. Alimeda. Calvo. There's a second row again. Garcia, Pena. Garcia with her extra teammate Delgado. She leaves it to the back. Got to look after that ball here, Spain. If they score here, that's the game to bed. Just got to keep their patience in this scoring zone. Fernandez de Corres, Garcia, Calvo. Rushed into touch. Again, it is quite superb defence from Russia. It really is.
Of course, we've got to remember that Russia are down a person as well, so they're doing really well to stop this Spanish.
A new captain.
Just flying at them at real pace. Massive amount of front foot ball created by Joy as well, who's come on and made a huge impact. But they're just weathering the storm at the moment in Russia.
You there? Hold.
Marietta Roman comes on the field for her debut. Nice play, wasn't it? Garcia again just using that experience, just kicking Russia back, knowing that their kicking game is one area certainly they'll need to improve to certainly challenge at this level. It will come in time with this new bunch of players. Alimeda not clearly releasing.
No clear release. Thank you. Time off, sub.
This is a running clock, so we're going to run at least 85, would have thought, 86 minutes.
Number 12 replacement, please.
So there is some time here. Just had a replacement 12 here. Not Spain's 12, it is. Just Garcia leaves the field for the final time. She has roared her final roar in the Spanish jersey, and the crowd on their feet to give her a standing ovation. Sometimes words aren't necessary.
That was beautiful to see her teammates all hugging it. Made me choke up a little bit. It was a lovely moment.
One of the main reasons I didn't speak was to let the pictures do their talking. But I, like you, was pretty choked up. Crowd and teammates, she means that much, and they will have to go on in the rest of this game and the rest of their development, this Spanish side, without Garcia. Here is Perez, one of the youngsters coming through, teenager, 18 years of age. Try-scoring debut last week. Puig working her way up to that 22-metre line. Alimeda, brilliant the 2 second rows today. And then Puig comes in as well off the bench. Some strength in that area. Now down this back line. Moderna.
You're down. First person is good. Unplayable.
There she is. She looked slightly surprised, didn't she? Coming off, but whatever's best for the team. A little smile.
She's got a lovely egg on the side of her face to to take a memory away from this game.
So take 10 points as well. Here is a try. It was going nowhere else, was it? But being dotted over that line. Still down to 14 players, Russia. Artichuk playing scrum half, wearing 12. Good. Chirkova went off earlier in the piece. Where's this one going? Fernandez de Corres has picked it up for Spain. Mistake from Russia. Brasek. Castro. Moreira being repelled by Russia. Not this time, though. Anna Puig. 2 tries against the Netherlands last week. A try against Russia here. And she is an outstanding player for this Spanish side. Has been for many a year now. And that surely is the game for the champions.
She's already made her presence be known, hasn't she? She certainly knows her way to the try line. What a score. Just picked up dotted over, found the gap, dived at their feet. You're not stopping her 5 metres out.
Taking a while, isn't it? Taking some patience as well. Sharp, simplest conversions, no problem at all. Spain up to 22, Russia back up to 15 players as well. Patient score in the end from Spain. They capitalised on the Russian mistake. And that lady adds to her own personal tally in this game. That first try early in the first half, and 72 minutes into this game.
Accidental scrum.
We have try number 3 with the first try of this second half. Castro and her teammates making right haulics of that. Just getting in the way. It's accidental, said the referee.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was worth kicking that when there's a player in front of you.
No. These are all the kind of things that the youngsters will be learning. Julio Castro, only a second cap. She'll learn from that. Alimera just wants to take it to Russia, doesn't she? It's Eva. Nice tackle. And it's Perez. Cisneros. She plays her rugby, juggling around from Alimera. She started this all off. Prasik's there as well. Securing possession. Russia have gone straight through, off their feet. Off her feet. She's only just come back onto the field, the Russian scrum half. She's got to be very careful. Second yellow card, and it would be red, of course. Yeah, that's, for me there, Rocky. You made 35 metres by taking a quick tap penalty. You don't double down on that. That's the time to put your foot on the ball metaphorically and go to touch.
She cannot dive on it. She can pick it up. She cannot dive
Absolutely,
on it.
just forcing the speed too much there.
She can pick it up.
They've caught them, they've gone quick, they've got through them, and the next time just build the pressure, build the territory.
Jalapon Jojanova, just 18 years of age, right, 23, but playing on the flank. The Krasnoyar player obviously speaks very good English, communicating with the referee. Scrum has been much more solid, isn't it, for Russia in the second half since a few replacements have come on the field.
Yeah, they've certainly settled into it. Replacements have made a big impact. They're just really lacking that kicking game to play rugby in the right areas.
Still penalty advantage.
I guess there's some other areas to tighten up, of course, Rocky, but kicking game is one of the only things they're really lacking. Dusha comes through. Make a tackle on Artichok.
Number 10, offside from the scrum.
So needs to just get a command of this game. It's a little bit fractious and in case it's as clear as it could be. Lushina. And the captain there, I mean, maybe a young, inexperienced side, but looking to her coaching bench for the decision as to what she should do with that penalty. And that, your feelings on that, Rocky Clark?
Yeah, I would. I think the coaches have done what they can. I think it's up to the players who've got the feel on the game to make the decisions and back themselves. Odd decision to take the scrum. At the very least, I'd probably gone a tap if you felt you couldn't reach touch. You never know, they might prove us wrong now.
Yeah, they're going to go from 65 metres here now. Danilov. Nice wide left-hand side. Going to come back this way. Guess the thinking being that would they reach touch with the kicking game that they have? The line out in this second half. Okay, the scrum has been far more solid, and therefore you're guaranteed possession at the scrum, but they haven't looked like going in from 10 metres out, let alone 65.
Yeah,
all good learnings.
Sense to get the extra yardage, but going to take a lot away from this game today.
No such thing as losses, are there, Rocky? Just learnings.
Exactly.
Not that you've
Mike's over here.
ever had to have many learnings.
Red.
Your successful career, whether in the white shirt or the black of Saracens. I wonder what your win ratio is across club and country.
That'd be interesting to know. Maybe a stat might be able to give me that.
Picture.
Certainly, you know, at my ripe old age, is certainly open to learning new things. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right?
Crouch.
Testament to the longevity of your career, simple as that. Heard it from horses' mouths. Coaches you've been under, your willingness to grow and improve your game.
Hold.
Here come Russia still trying to find a way through. We've spoken about the Russian defence. We'll talk about the Spanish defence as well, because plenty of physicality thrown at them throughout this game.
Line speed at 77 minutes. Brilliant.
Artichoke. Whenever we get to the position where we have a playoff game between this competition and the Six Nations, be interesting, wouldn't it? Pena looks so assured on the ball, doesn't she? She's got very good feet, she's quick, she's physical as well, as she showed there. Just bundled out to touch, but it's a difficult situation. She dealt with it very well. Perhaps next time she might just shout mark. Real contest to the line out has been all second half. Certainly a tactic of Spain just to try and challenge it every line out. Rush defence coming up, but Russia have made good ground on that right hand side through Gabrieluk. Still looking for a score here. Yet to concede, aren't they, Spain, this year's competition? Only conceded the one try in last year's competition as well.
So it shows you what a defensive outfit they've got them. They just did get caught on that, as you said earlier, they flew up and they were quite disconnected with it, so it meant the Russia could get through or come round the corner or get the ball over the top, so it's quite easy to get the ball out to the wing for Russia then.
Okay, steady on the set. Steady. Hold weight.
This sort of banana rush defence, doesn't it? So Sean Edwards made famous at London club in England, Wasps. Now the defensive coach for the French men's team, of course, Sean Edwards. Former Wigan player who must just the sour passing of Inga Twingamala this week as Fernandez de Corres comes away from Spain. Pena, those hands we're talking about. Nice fend off by Rodera. And then Calvo. Loose, but Alimeda keeps the move going. Puig. Castro. Tip off. Brilliant. Alimeda. What a game for the second row. Great line. Straight through for Perez. Perez wraps the game and the championship up for Spain. What an angle. Great score for Spain. They remain the champions.
Phenomenal line by Perez then. She looked like a hot knife going through butter. You just knew the confidence she had. That little fend off to Luciana as well. She just glided through. Great score. Big smile on her face. Rightly so.
Some angle. That's not bad, is it? 2 caps, 2 tries.
Pretty good try rate, eh?
Take it. The running clock we've got on the screen here. One bad injury and some officiating confusion, so it will not be the last kick of the game from Bouchat. Referee has called time on it. Look at the joy of the Spanish players. Spain win their 9th title at this level, their 6th in a row. They are once again the Rugby Europe Championship champions, beating Russia in Madrid 27-0. And quite some performance, not as polished as potentially they would have liked, Rocky Clark, but a win is a win. And when you're doing it for all the reasons we've been speaking about all game, not only to win this title, but for the likes of Garcia and for their coach as well, Jose Barrio, they will take the win in the championship all day long.
Absolutely, you know, hats off to these guys to putting on a performance, saying goodbye to some stalwarts of the team and the coaching team. It's a big day for Spanish rugby, and congratulations to them on their 9th title. Brilliant.
Their 6th in a row, such is their dominance at this level. We think Jose Barrios, last game, he intimated as much in an interview a few weeks ago with that lady on the end there, with all the hugs and the kisses. Patricia Garcia getting a huge round of applause from the crowd. A lady who today won her 43rd cap for her country. She's played in World Cups for Spain in 15s and for 7s. Olympian as well. Says goodbye to international rugby. Her last roar for the Lionesses. The crowd salute their players. Victorious again at this level, and there she is there. You see the emotion when she came off the field. A massive hug which made 2 fairly strong front row forwards here in the commentary fairly emotional. Such is the reaction of the players around her. And it says it all, doesn't it, when you're those that you play with week in, week out, hold you in such esteem.
Yeah, exactly. Just such a beautiful person, as well as an amazing rugby player. She brings so much to her team. It's going to be a massive loss to Spain, but it's really important that they savour the moment. She savours every single minute of this.
Yeah, we hope that a social project using rugby Libre continues to go from strength to strength. But if you've got Eddie Naus about you, surely she'll become part of the coaching setup for Spanish rugby, whether it be 15s or 7s. Just a little shot there of Jose Barrio walking across the field, but you want to get her into that coaching setup, don't you? So much rugby IP.
Absolutely, yeah. She's so clever, such a tactician. She knows exactly where it's got to go, what needs to happen. And you've got the likes of these youngsters that have come through and clearly already standing up, you know, on their second caps, scoring 2 tries in 2 caps. Like, there's so much potential. So if they can utilise her experience, and she's clearly a massive personality within the team, then you can use that in the coaching staff as well.
The family and friends congratulating their team. Again, this championship belongs to Spain. And in reflection, justifiably so, 69-0 against the Netherlands last week, 27-0 against Russia here, 15 tries in their 2 games. They have it all their own way today against a very spirited, very, very intensely physical Russian side, but Spain came through in the end, didn't they? 2 tries in that first half and 2 tries in the second half.
Hi, I'm here with Laura Delgado, the captain of the Spanish team. This is a very emotive day. Patricia Garcia says goodbye, and you have won your 9th title of the Women's European Rugby Championship. How do you feel, Bimba?
It was an amazing day. It was hard, actually, but we enjoy the new generation. I think they give 100%, and we won, and I think Pat is very happy too. Then everyone is happy.
Do you have any plans yet for the celebration?
Well, for sure, celebration a lot, and just a plan with the girls.
Thank you very much, Bimba. Enjoy.
Laura Delgado, known as Bimba. I love that question. As for the celebrations, it's not worry about the rugby. How are you going to celebrate? That's superb. With the girls, though, was the answer, wasn't it, from Laura Delgado? Quite rightly
really
so,
important.
those.
Yeah, absolutely. So Garcia wants to enjoy the night.
José Antonio Barrio, head coach of the Spanish Rugby Union. Well, your 9th title, but how have you seen the game?
We have a strong Russia, and it's a very hard play and a very hard matches. I'm very happy for the result of the spirit of the group.
You have a lot of young girls playing here today. What does that mean for the Spanish rugby?
I think it's very important for us, the younger players, and in the match we have a lot of mistakes. I think this is for this reason, but I'm very happy with the reason that the many younger players.
Thank you very much, and congratulations, José Antonio.
José Antonio Barrio, and here she is, the lady of the moment.
Well, I'm with one of the protagonists today, Patricia Garcia. Oh my God, I have a lot of emotion. I think you too. How was saying goodbye with all your people here?
Well, I think it was amazing to finish my career after 12 years with the Leonas. It's something that I'm very proud. Wear this t-shirt for one more time is something that I'm very, very grateful, and I'm very happy for all the team that play really well to win another European champions.
We are gonna miss you, Patri.
I'm gonna miss it too. I mean, I'm not dead. I'm gonna continue working for rugby and somehow. So yeah, I'm just again like really proud and really grateful of have this opportunity and could represent my country for all of these years. So now it's time to them to represent this country.
Thank you very much, Patri. Go on, enjoy.
Thank you.
12 years. 12 years she has given to her country, Patricia Garcia. Big smile on her face during the anthems. And not a bad scriptwriter, Rocky Clark. Finishes at home with a 9th title, a 6th consecutive title at this level. Scored a try, and all in Madrid at home.
What a way to bow out, eh? Amazing. Nice that she got all her friends and family there. Had a blinder of a game as well. And yeah, like, you know, she's still good enough. She could still play for another 10 years, but she decided to obviously focus on her career now and give back to rugby in different ways.
Yeah, she was her normal effervescent best, wasn't she? A bit of skills, brilliant kicker of the ball from hand or from the tee. We saw her passing ability as well. But it's that, isn't it? It's that communication, that leadership that she brings to every side she plays for.
Absolutely, and you know, you can't buy that, you can't coach that, it's just within.
So Garcia's highlights, now some of the game highlights. Dusha with that first try, Garcia with the conversion. The host broadcasters literally picked out every frame that Patricia Garcia was involved with today. Oh look, she's just got the ball off the field there, trying to take the quick line out. Diminutive figure, but huge heart. It just says everything, the way that she conducted herself during that interview. It's a hugely emotional moment for her. I actually thought the lady doing the interviews was going to crack emotionally at one point, but just cool, calm and considered, and still all about the team, wasn't it? Here's her try.
Yeah. Just such a lovely person, you know, as well as a phenomenal player that was already talked about, and she is so calm. That's what you need.
So a moment for the presentation. It really is for the other nations, isn't it, at this level of rugby, to rise themselves to the Spanish level, being so dominant. To mention that a couple of times already, their 6th title in a row. Spain need to continue what they're doing. Hopefully the powers that be will recognise their dominance at this level and certainly give them a chance. We have results like beating Ireland in the World Cup qualifiers. People take note, and to win the trophy again here in Madrid. But now it's down to these youngsters to take the shirt on. Young Claudia Peña on her debut today, 17 years of age. Hugs all round. A Spanish Alacadoos. Fernandez de Corres. Huge amount on her shoulders now without Garcia outside her. Marietta Roman as well. A debutant in her early 20s. Just hurrying things along here. Porto getting her medal out, some of the management. Some of those players not involved today. Almeida just about to receive her medal. Superb afternoon that she had, she really did. Quite brilliant, the second row. Get a few big hugs in there. And then it's Garcia. I wonder if they're watching on in Exeter. Patricia Garcia. And Laura Delgado alongside her, the captain of the day. I wonder who'll lift the pot. Crowd in anticipation just banging. Waiting to see their national side lift the trophy again. Spain have done it once again. They will enjoy their evening. There it is, the Rugby Europe Championship. Laura Delgado. Everybody wants to touch the trophy. Spain, women's champions of 2022. And don't they deserve it? So clinical against the Netherlands last week. Patricia Garcia take a bow, and we as a rugby family, the women's rugby family, thank you for your service to the game. And as she quite rightly said in the interview, not over yet. She wants to give back to the game. That's a great shot, isn't it? Something they're used to in these parts in Madrid. Spain being crowned champions. Congratulations to the Lionesses. May well be Patricia Garcia's final roar, but these youngsters will have learnt so much from her, and they will go on, and it's now their responsibility to keep the levels and the standard of the rugby as high as that lady has kept them over the last 12 years. Laura Delgado alongside such good friends. Came over to England to play in the Premier 15s. I think sharing a camper van for a while, weren't they? Close friends on and off the field. Wonder what the trophy's full of. Looks like it's full of something. Rioja? Or a good Spanish beer. Not sure what it is, but Spain. Superb last week. Really tough, very different game today. But fought their way through, and in the end, nearly there was only one side in it, and that was the side in red at home, the Spanish side. And they win their 9th title at this level, their 6th in a row. And are those nearest and dearest to Patricia Garcia. Can thank her one last time. Your final thoughts, then, Rocky Clark?
Just hugely impressed by both teams, and you know, massive send-off for Garcia, and exceptional legend of the game. But I'm impressed with the standard of women's rugby, and both teams brought it today, and what a game it was.
Keeps Spain very dominant across both games and across this competition for many years, but those sides are beginning to pull themselves up, aren't they? In Netherlands, very strong in that first half, plenty to work on, and Russia here again today, a completely new era of players, really. Very impressive.
Hugely, yeah. The gap is getting closer, but Spain are still, you know, a big step ahead, but the other teams are starting to chase them, and that's great for women's rugby. You want competitive games.
Indeed you do. Final cheer from the Lionesses in Madrid. They've won at home their 6th title in a row, their 9th overall, deserved champions. Final hugs for those two, Barrio and Garcia. Potentially the last time we see them in these roles anyway in Spanish rugby. The day belongs to Patricia Garcia, the day belongs to Spain. From all of us here at Rugby Europe, Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you very, very soon.